Okay guys, you're welcome back to today's episode. On today's episode, we're going to be solving all of these questions and lots more. Okay, so in the previous video, I taught this particular concept, Math 122, where I explained how to, in fact, the topic was about the equation of the straight line. I explained everything and I promised you guys that we're going to be solving questions. So here we are today on the second episode. Now let's continue. So solution. The first question goes first. If you want to get this, for those of you that are in the University of Nigeria and Soka, if you want to get these questions, you go to page 3, question number 7 of your continuous assessment workbook. Now the first question goes towards the equation of the straight line with intercept 4 and minus 2 on the x-axis and y-axis respectively is. So how are we supposed to solve this? So let's write out the parameters. So we say the x-intercept is 4, while the y-intercept is minus 2. So if that's the case, how are we supposed to do? There are two ways to solving this particular question, but then I'm going to be going with the easiest way. Maybe at the end of this video, if this video is not too long, I'm going to be doing the second method. So what are we supposed to do now? So here is the intercept. Let's call this the x-intercept, and this is the y-intercept. Let's denote x-intercept with xi, while the y-intercept with yi. So we have a formula that is x over xi plus y over yi is equals to 1. Okay, so this is the formula which I'm going to be using in this case. So x over xi, then y over yi equals to 1. So in this case, what am I supposed to do? So I will substitute. Anywhere I see my xy, I'll put 4. Anywhere I see my yi, which is y-intercept, I'll put minus 2. So I'll have x over 4 plus y over minus 2 is equals to 1. We all know that whenever we have fraction, to clear fraction, we just have to find our LCM and multiply all through by the LCM. So the LCM in this case of 4 and minus 2, okay, let's just forget about the sign for now. 4 and 2, the LCM is actually 4. So I'm going to be multiplying all through by 4. So let's do that. So multiply here by 4. Okay, so 4 multiplied by x over 4, then plus 4 multiplied by y over minus 2 equals to 4 multiplied by 1. So definitely 4 will cancel 4, and then minus 2 divided by, like 4 divided by minus 2, we have minus 2 left, right? So in this case, we have our x plus times minus is minus, 2 times y is 2y, right? Is equals to 4 times 1 is 4, and here is our final answer. So let's move to the next question. Okay, the next question goes thus. Now the next question, they said the perpendicular. Now I also discussed something about the perpendicular distance between a point and a line, and there's a particular formula that we will have to use to solve this. So whenever you hear perpendicular distance or shortest distance, or you can equally hear distance from a point to a line, just have it at the back of your mind that they are referring to perpendicular distance. So in that case, let us use the formula. I said it in our last class. Go and check out the episode 1 of this particular topic. Okay, now for the perpendicular distance, the formula is like this. The absolute value of, I mentioned p x plus q y plus c. You can use c, you can use r, whichever one. The parameters that does not matter, or the symbols which you are using, or will I say the variable which you are using does not matter, over the square root of p squared plus q squared. Now on that video, I was trying to explain what all of these things represent. From this equation, we can see that they gave us an equation 4x minus 3y is equals to 8. So let's bring this 8 here. Minus 8 is equals to 0. Okay. So in this equation, they gave us all of this is our p, because this is px, this then plus qy, this is our q, and then plus r is equals to 0. So you can see that from the look of things, absolute value, our p represents, and then this is our x and y. Okay, so our p from here, our p is 4 plus our q is minus 3. Okay, okay, I was supposed to multiply by this. Okay, so I'm supposed to multiply, so this is supposed to be 4 times minus 2. Don't forget our x is minus 2, and then plus, what's our q? Our q from here is minus 3, so I have minus 3, then multiply by, what's our y? Our y from here is minus 3 as well, plus our r is minus 8. So just for you to substitute all this value, then divide by the square root of, so p squared, that's to say p squared 4 squared, right, plus q squared minus 3 squared. The final answer would be when you resolve all of this. So the absolute value, make sure you put absolute value, very, very important. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8, plus minus 3 times minus 3 is what? Plus 9. Then plus minus is minus, so minus 8, all over the square root of, we have 16, 4 squared is 16, plus minus 3 squared is 9. So in that case, by the time we do this, we have an absolute value of minus 8. Minus 8 is minus 16. So minus 16 plus 9. So minus 16 plus 9, we have minus, you see the reason I said that an absolute value is very, very important, because you might be getting a minus sign. So minus 16 plus 9, we have minus 7. Okay, all over the square root of 25. And absolute value of minus 7 is 7, and the square root of 25 is 5, and here is our answer. So it's as simple as this. So let's move to the next questions. So we have a lot of questions based on what we did in our last class. So the next question goes to us. Now this particular question, from the one we have here, you go to page 39, question 1. The point of intersection of the lines 3x plus 5y is equals to 5 and y is equals to 2x plus 14 is. So let's look at how to do this. So how are we supposed to do this one? So let's write our solution. Now, they've given us the point of intersection. They've given us the lines. Remember I mentioned in that particular video that lines means equation. They've given us the 2 equations. So let me write them out. 3x plus 5y is equals to 5. This is the first equation. Then they give us another equation, y is equals to 2x plus 14. This is the second equation. Now that means for them to ask us to find the point of intersection, I mentioned in that video that anywhere you hear point is x, y, it is coordinated. Okay, a point is what? Coordinated. In that case, how do we solve this? So we have to solve simultaneously. There's a video I made about simultaneous equation. It's one of my short videos. Okay, so how to solve simultaneous equations swiftly. So I'm going to be doing that here. I'm going to pin that video somewhere around this video, okay, so that you can learn it. So this is how to do it. I want to resolve this. I wouldn't want to do substitution method. This method is very easy. If you pay attention, you'll get this method. So I want to rewrite this one such that I will have my 2x, bring the y to this side, minus y is equals to 14. Okay, it's equals to minus 14 rather, because I brought my y to this side and I took my 14 to the other side. So in this case, what am I supposed to do? Remember, I'm looking for x and I'm also looking for y, right? So in this case, I'll draw my line. Pay attention, pay close attention. So for me to know what's going to be down here, I'm going to find the determinant here. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. So minus 3. 2 times 5 is 10 minus then 10. Okay. So in this case, down here I have minus 13. Right? So same thing here, minus 3 minus 10, and I have minus 13. Right? So for what I will have up here, just do this first. 5 times minus 1 is minus 5. Okay, 5 times minus 14. Remember, first for write your minus, then 5 times minus 14 is minus 70. Right? Okay, so if that's the case, this is going to be minus 5 plus 70. That will be plus 65. Right? So let's do this one. So doing getting to want to get this one, you go from here. 3 times minus 14, that will give us minus 52. Then naturally is minus, then this and this. 2 times this is what? 10. 2 times 5 rather. 2 times 5 is 10. So minus 52 minus 10, that will be minus 62. Okay? So in that case, let us get things going. So our final answer for x is 60 65 divided by 13 minus 13. 65 divided by minus 13, we have minus 5. And our y, on the other hand, is 62 divided by 13, or minus 62 divided by 13. Let's check this out again. I think I'm making a mistake here. This and this should give us 42 rather. I made a mistake here. Okay, so that means this is meant to be minus 52. And by the time we divide minus 52 divided by minus 13, we get 4. So in that case, our point is minus 5 and 4. As simple as that. So let's move to the next question. We're taking too much time. So the next question. After this question, we're moving to the next topic. Still on this same concept. Now the next question goes to, they said in page 42, no, question 5. The slope and y-intercept of this line, 5x. Let me write out the line. 5x, solution. 5x minus 7y plus 13 is equals to 0. Now they ask us to find the slope. This one is very easy. And what? The y-intercept. So how do we find the slope? I taught you guys a swiftly. Since this is speed math, there is a way I taught how to get this swiftly. Since this is speed math, remember you are watching speed math with promise, so please pay attention. Now, for slope, which you guys already know that it is m, right? So slope is, I say you should come to this, we have 5, and then the coefficient of x, 5, the coefficient of y, minus 7, right? But then, since they have, don't forget about the sign for now, since they have different signs, definitely it's positive. But if they're having the same signs, then it's negative, okay? So for the intercept, all you just have to do is, you take this, right? You do likewise. So 13, right, over 7. Now, since they're having different signs, it's positive. As simple as that. And that is our answer. Now, the next one. Let's move to the next question. Let's make it snappy. This is going to be the last question. Okay, before we move to the other topics and other courses that are involved. Now, the equation of the line through 1 and 2, this is a point which is perpendicular to the line 4x plus 3y plus 12 equals to 0 is, remember they asked us for what? Equation. Okay, so now how do we solve this? What is the bone of contention? Even as we are asked to find this equation, what is the bone of what? Contention. First, let's write out this. Now, pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Since they mentioned that this is the point and that particular point is perpendicular, always pay attention to, be it parallel, sometimes it can be parallel, other times it can be perpendicular. This time around, they told us it is perpendicular. So in this case, since they told us that it is perpendicular, right, for the sake of the fact that it is perpendicular, I mentioned in that video, let me remind us again, that anytime you are given a line or an equation and a point and you ask to find the corresponding equation, you just have to find your slope. So the slope of the first one multiplied by the slope of the second line should be equals to minus 1. Okay, which is to say that if you know the slope of this equation, you can be able to find the corresponding equation. Okay, you can be able to find the corresponding equation. So if I know, let's say I know the slope of this m1, I know m1 because I'm about to get my m1. What's my m1? And to get, if I know my m1, to get my m2 is simply the negative inverse of my m1. As simple as that. So let us find our m1, which is the slope. Okay, the slope 1. That's what m1 represents. So our m1 now, I've already taught you how to get slope from the previous question we just did. So how do we get this? Remember 4, right? Over what? Over 3. But then they are both having the same signs. Since they're having the same sign, you put minus, and this is your slope. As simple as that. So since we already know the slope, let us find the slope of the one that we're about to. Remember, they are perpendicular, they are not parallel. If they were parallel now, the slope will be the same. So our m2 now will now be the negative inverse of this our m1, which is minus 4 over 3. And since the both of them have negative, minus cancel minus, just find the reciprocal of 4 over 3. That will become 3 over 4. And this is our m2. I believe it is clear. Now let's move to the next thing, which is to find the corresponding equation. Remember that our slope is rise over run. Since we are looking for an equation, we're given just 1 point. So we use an arbitrary point. We're given 1, 2. So we'll use x, y. So this is going to be our x1, y1, but this will be our x2, y2. Okay, we don't have, that means we will not put anything. So y minus y1 divided by x minus x1. The reason we are doing this is because we don't want a situation whereby we'll solve and at the end of the day we'll get confused. So the best thing to do, you bring the arbitrary points out so that you tell yourself that that is your y2 and your x2, but you won't put 2. So what is our gradient? Our gradient or slope is 3 over 4 is equals to y2 we don't know, which is y, minus y1 2, x2 we don't know, which is just x since we don't know it, then minus x1 is 1. So by the time you cross multiply, let me teach you a faster way to get this done. So our final answer will be very easy to get. So since we are bringing x first, 3 times x, 3x, then 4 times y, 4y, but it's positive 4y on this side. You are distributing, you are taking this here, you are taking this here. So let's bring that 4y to this side, becomes minus 4y, right? So the next thing now is 3 times, remember anyone you are doing here, you are writing it exactly the way it is. The one we are doing like this, you are bringing it to this side. 3 times minus 1 is minus 3. 4 times minus 2 is minus 8. Bringing it to this side become plus 8 equals to 0. So finally, our answer is 3x minus 4y. Then this should give us plus 5 equals to 0. And here is our final answer. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Please, very, very important. We have to hit the target of 1,000 subscribers before the end of this year. So, and I'm going to be bringing to you guys more videos. So please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, all the questions that are involved in your C, I'm going to be solving everything. So thank you for watching till the very end of this video. See you in my next video. Bye bye.